Hey guys, what's up? It's Angelina and welcome back to my channel. My foot is stuck. I went to go pick up my Sephora order earlier today and you guys, I finally got my hands on it. The shade that I wanted was sold out for a bit, but I finally picked up the shade that I wanted. This is the new Dior foundation stick. I was so excited about it. I picked it up in the shade 4N. And the reason why I decided to go with 4N is because I use the shade 4 in the normal foundation, like the liquid one. However, I did notice that the shades were quite different in this line. I was really stuck between 3.5 and 4, and then I just ended up going with 4 because I was like, I don't know, I'd rather go darker than go lighter, even though I thought upon swatching it definitely looked a little bit darker. So this retails for $52, which I feel like is pretty average for a foundation. The multi-use Dior foundation stick that delivers a natural blurred finish with 24-hour wear and all-day hydration. The buildable coverage effortlessly evens out your complexion. I can't even read, like, am I okay? A makeup skincare hybrid, Dior Forever Skin Perfect, lets your skin breathe while providing continuous hydration. Visibly minimizes the appearance of pores and conceals imperfection. The long-lasting foundation delivers a perfect blurring filter effect that withstands heat and humidity. We're going to see if those claims are true. Non-comedogenic and dermatologist tested. So let's just go ahead and try this. I'm very excited. I have some acne marks and like active breakouts. And this side I just have a bunch of hyperpigmentation and redness. And I'm sorry about that, but that is some new PR and I wanted to save it for you guys so I can just show you guys a big PR haul at the end of the week. Okay, honestly, I thought that this was going to be super dark, and it's definitely leaning towards being on the warmer side, but honestly, I think it's going to be an almost perfect match. Ooh, feels really nice the way that it's gliding on the skin. Okay, initially I was terrified with the shade because it just looks like way more orange in this packaging and kind of too dark for me, but on the face, that almost looks invisible. I'm gonna use a kabuki brush to blend. Okay, this is definitely fragranced, so if you're not into scents, you might not like this. Wow, I feel like that is going on super easily. And the thing about this is that it doesn't feel thick. It feels very thin for a stick, which I find, sometimes with sticks, because they're a cream product, sometimes it can feel a little thick upon application, but I noticed that this feels very thin. And I feel like that did a really good job. So I definitely feel like with this, you can build it up, but it's probably best to just work in like small sections. I'm gonna add another layer. I low-key was hoping that I wouldn't like this because I have a ton of foundation in my collection and I really just wanted to test this for you guys. So I was hoping that I would hate it so that way I could return it. But, ooh, okay, that layer definitely added a lot of coverage. I'm honestly obsessed with this. I can't believe this. This is so blurring and so like mattifying. Like, do you see how like blurred this looks? I definitely agree with that claim. Just gonna stamp it right here. I don't want to say it yet, but I feel like this might be one of my favorites that I've tried so far this year because this is insane. Like, it looks so good in real life. Okay, so I went ahead and I started swiping it on, which you might be able to see, but I just kind of wanted to start swiping it on the face. And then I'm gonna still go in with my kabuki brush. This is from Youthforia. And I love that this just blends in so easily. Dare I say, I think this might replace my Tom Ford stick because I've been loving that one, but you guys probably know that I think that they're discontinuing, or they already did discontinue, but this, I would say, feels way more lightweight on the face, and I think I'm liking the finish a lot more than that one. but you can always check out that video in case you haven't seen it. Ooh, this is looking so pretty. And the thing is, like, I feel like you can continuously layer this and it still looks so natural. And like, you can just layer your problem spots, really. Like, I'm just tapping it, and there's, like I said, something about this feels so thin and nice. I'm just kind of wondering how it's gonna set down on the face. And the fact that it already looks so, you know, filtered and I haven't even set the face down is so crazy to me. Like, once I set the face down, this is gonna look insane. Like, I can already tell you. Okay, so I went ahead and I set my face down, and I will say I am noticing that in this area where I built it up, I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but it's looking a little bit splotchy and definitely clinging on to some of the dryness I have here, which is interesting because I feel like from further away it looks super buttery smooth, but when you get closer, like certain areas, like my nose area especially, it's looking a tad bit heavy. So I'm wondering if with this, maybe it's better to just do 1 or 2 layers, like super lightly, because otherwise I think this could potentially look cakey. So if you're going to use this, definitely make sure to hydrate and like prep really well. I mean, I thought I prepped really well, but I guess I could have used a more, you know, hydrating moisturizer. But other than that, I feel like it looks very nice on the skin. Do the rest of my makeup, come back and fill you guys in on what I'm noticing and what I think. I did the rest of my makeup, as you guys can see, and I feel like now that I layered some products on top of it, I have a more clear idea of the product and how I'm feeling about it, so let's just get into it. Upon initial application, I definitely think that this shade is 100% like one of the closest stick foundations I have in my shade. I think that it looks so good on the skin. However, I did notice in areas that I have a lot of breakouts, like right here, I just kind of have some hyperpigmentation and a little bit of scaliness. I find that it is clinging pretty heavily to those little dry patches I have. I will also say, like in the nose area right here, it's looking a little bit too cakey for what I like. I will probably have to try this again just because I want to try prepping my face a different way to see like how it would look instead. It doesn't look bad by any means. I definitely would say, like, if you're, you know, the distance that you're at right now, I think that it looks pretty good. Like, I feel like you wouldn't even be able to tell. The issue, however, for me is when you are super close up, like if I'm like with a mirror looking at myself, I think then I start to kind of see the things that I don't like about it, and I can kind of see it's starting to settle into, I have a little bit of a line under my lip area that I think a lot of people have, and then I can kind of see it settling into this laugh line a little bit, starting to settle into this line a little bit. This is definitely made, I think, for someone who has more combination slash oily skin, only because I don't even have a ton of dryness on my face, but the little areas that I do, I am noticing that it's clinging to it, it's really emphasizing those lines, and I'm not like loving that by any means. It's probably one of the few soft matte finishes that I have in a stick foundation that I actually like. So it's definitely getting its points for that, but you know how I was saying, like, oh, is this going to replace my Tom Ford foundation? I don't think it is. Only because, as great as it looks on, I'm starting to see that there are things that I might not like with this, and that could be because I just don't prefer a matte finish kind of product. I think it just adds some dullness and it just doesn't look the best on me personally. And yeah, and I feel like my Tom Ford foundation, although it does feel more heavy on the skin and it is, you know, a very dewy finish kind of product, I will say I've never had any issues with it, you know, in my lines or anything like that. So I might have to do a side by side with my Tom Ford stick versus this one, because that is my favorite stick foundation and I want to see if this one is worth actually keeping. Also, something I noticed that I don't feel like I've noticed with my other stick foundations is that I could not wear any creams on top of it. Anything that was cream that I tried to put on, it was just starting to look splotchy in certain areas. Like for example, I've been using my Bare Minerals complexion, like this is a highlighting blush, but I have a bronzer over here as well. I've been using these with no problems on top of so many foundations. And yes, you know, they are liquidy and they're not, you know, a powder. But when I started to put it on over my cheeks, I just noticed that it was separating the product underneath. And that's not really a problem that I've had so far with these. So I think that we're just going to have to do another wear test in the future, because this is not, I don't feel like I have definitive thoughts. I feel like I have some thoughts, but I don't want to say for sure because I don't know if I'm just having a bad skin prep day or if I didn't do something right with this one, but I want to give it another shot. I think that there's so many products that you could work with, you know, like if you prep a certain way, if you use a certain primer, it could all make it look so good. But I think for the price tag, I would want something that I wouldn't have to be so specific with how I prep or else it's gonna look bad. So this is something that I'm gonna have to test again. I was really loving it upon application. It was the closest shade match I've ever seen. It looked really nice, really matte, really blurring. But upon wearing it and trying to layer my products on top of it, I'm not super impressed. That is a bummer. I definitely didn't think that was going to happen, but I love the packaging. Side note, I think it's very cute. Really wanted to add it to my Dior collection, but we're going to have to do another wear test before I can officially commit to it. So that is what it's looking like. I'll give you an in-depth close-up look. And if you're wondering what lip combo I'm wearing, because this lip combo I discovered by accident, I did it. I found my perfect fall lip combo. Let's get into it. We're gonna outline with Creamy Chocolate from Buxom. Hey guys, we're gonna be doing day 2 of a wear test today. It's currently 8:32. I'm gonna go ahead and put this all over the face. As you guys can see today, I hydrated a lot. I'm using my Merit Great Skin Instant Glow Serum, my Ren Daily Moisturizer, so that way my face is nice and moisturized. I went ahead and I color corrected and did my concealer already. So now it's just time to do the foundation again. And today we're going to get a long wear test in because I have a long day. We're going to do, I think, a smaller layer today. I think like that should be enough. That glided on so easily. That looks really nice. You can still see my hyperpigmentation, but like it's nothing too crazy. I will say this is heavily fragranced, and every time I use it, it smells like I'm putting perfume on my face. Just like right here and a little bit up here. Okay, so I think it looks really good and definitely like really natural today because especially since I really moisturized, the skin looks pretty hydrated and healthy. I am gonna go ahead and set the face, but I'm gonna set with my normal like really good powder. But before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do some other cream products so we can do that together. Okay, so my face is all ready for the day. I can definitely say today it's looking a lot more hydrated. Like I'm not really noticing the things that I was noticing before. So let me go ahead and look at it up close. Yeah, I definitely think it looks a lot better than it was looking. But, you know, these are still, like now these are drying up. So it's clinging on to the dryness around there. So I will say, like I said before, if you have a lot of dryness, I don't think you're gonna like this because it's gonna cling on to areas wherever it's super dry. So hopefully it holds up nicely today. But it's currently 9:04 and we're gonna start the wear test now. Very, very worn in looking, but excited to see what this is looking like up close because I haven't looked at myself in a minute. I did notice that when I was opening my iPhone to look at myself, I looked horrendous. So I thought that I looked like really bad because you know the iPhone camera just makes you look really bad. Like it made my pores look enlarged. But looking at myself in the mirror, I honestly don't think anything looks that bad. I would just recommend not using your iPhone to check how you're looking because it almost sent me into a spiral. Obviously, I'm getting definitely dewy like in my T-zone area and specifically my forehead. I will say though, it was totally like hot and then it was sunny and then it was raining, so lots of different weather that occurred today. You know, if you're from Florida, you know. But I will say my face looks really good through it all. I definitely don't think that it rubbed off by any means. Like I can tell that it's still in the place that I put it. Now, is it dewy? Yes, it's very dewy, but I think I'd rather have it look like this than look extra dry the way that it looked on the first day that we tried it. And in terms of like settling into lines, it's not really settling too much. Like obviously I have lines, so we're gonna get a little bit of settling, but today it doesn't look like anything too crazy. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be keeping this one. I'm not really sure if it's anything unique to my collection per se, but that's gonna be something that we have to like figure out, and my hair is just like not even in this thing anymore, so let me just take it out. And you have to make sure that your skin is prepped the right way or else you're just not gonna love it, because as you guys saw on day one, my skin was looking very dried and cakey in certain areas. I think I am going to be doing a video testing my Tom Ford versus my Dior foundation just to get a side-by-side feel. Okay guys, so that wraps up my 2-day wear test. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I now post 3 times a week, so you guys are seeing me a lot more consistently, and I've really been loving this upload schedule because I feel like I've been able to fit in a lot of video ideas that I've had planned, and I feel like it's just thoroughly like more enjoyable for me as well with this new upload schedule. So definitely stay tuned, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it helpful. And let me know if you go ahead and pick up this foundation or if you think you're gonna pass, because there seems to be a lot of new foundation releases. The Patrick Ta one is coming out really soon. Huda Beauty's is coming out very soon as well, and I feel like I might have to pick those up. So far, I do really like this, but we're gonna have to do another side by side with my Tom Ford foundation just to make sure that it is something that I think is worth keeping in my collection. So stay tuned for a Tom Ford foundation stick versus Dior foundation stick video. That's it for me for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.